So today I will be testing some new discs once again for slots in my minimal bag. I went ahead and went with a 4-slot bag instead of a usual 5-slot bag, and I'll cover what slots, what discs I've used. I did end up having my best scoring-wise round that I've had at this course, or at least tied for best on 9 holes. But I also ended up with questions on, can these discs cover the distance I want? So we'll go into how things went, what I ended up with, and let's get to it. Okay, so at the start of the week, I was doing some research on my minimal bag and discs I was considering and whether or not I needed all the mid-ranges and so forth and such. Normally I'll have a distance driver that's neutral driver, a overstable driver, an overstable mid-range, and neutral mid-range, and a putter. This time I decided to go with a little bit of a compromise. So walked into the Infinite Disc store, and when I walked out, I had 2 new discs. The Crave in a lighter weight, 161 grams, and the Resistor in a lighter weight, 161 grams as well. Crave and Resistor both are a 6.5 speed disc. So I felt like it would be fun to eliminate that mid-range slot. Last week, I kind of eliminated the overstable mid-range in favor of the Entropy, which was pretty well covering that as an overstable approach. And then I decided I did not need the neutral mid-range slot if I had the lower speed combination of these 2 discs, as well as the Entropy and the Ohm, which is my putter, and had some pretty cool results. But we'll go through the round and show how things worked out. First of all, we've got Crave at 6.55, -1-1. We've got Resistor at 6.54, 3.5. Then we've got Entropy at 4.303. And we've got, don't eat it, Ohm at 2.501. We got Ridge here trying to eat my notes. So, don't eat it. Bad idea, Ridge. Okay, how'd the round go? So hole 1, makes sense to throw forehand on this hole to not go on the wrong side of the fence from the basket. So we did the Crave with a forehand throw, went 221 feet and ended up 21 feet from the basket. This was a decent shot, not the closest. I ended up with a birdie though, which I'm happy with on that hole. The next hole, went again with the Crave and threw it 247 feet with 11 feet left to the basket. Just nicely parked, got a second birdie in a row. Really happy with how this round started out. Distance is not way far, but these holes are not very far holes. So, on the 3rd hole, we threw, this hole didn't go as well as the first 2. This is a 277-foot hole. The Crave went 241 feet, but off course a bit. I threw it up high a little bit, and it ended up too far to the left. We were about 77 feet from the hole, and ended up getting a par on that. So, 4th hole, went with the Resistor. This is a shorter hole, around 245 feet. The throw forehand went 227 feet with about 35 feet left to the hole. This was kind of long, messed up, not focused, and got a bogey, unfortunately. The 5th hole, I used the Ohm as the driver, and that was a 152-foot throw with 35 feet left to the basket. Got a birdie though, made a long putt. That was really awesome. Next, we had hole 6 with the Crave, and this was a backhand throw, 198 feet, a little bit nose up, so yeah, it didn't go all that far. 58 feet left, but saved for par. The 7th hole, we used the Resistor, which went, again, 198 feet. and ended up 16 feet away from the basket. Just got a par. Unfortunately, I should have had a birdie on that one, but that would have been amazing. 8th hole, this one has been the one that I've struggled with forever in the past. And last video, I had 2 great throws with my selected discs, the Defy and the Mamba. Both ended up in birdieable spots. In fact, I did putt for birdie from both locations. Today I threw the Resistor, where we need a curve way around. I don't think I just didn't get quite as solid of a throw. We went 251 feet with 43 feet left to the basket. And yeah, wasn't great. I did get, maintain my par, saved for par, but could have been better. I also went ahead and just for practice threw the Crave, threw it too flat. Maybe it just wants to flip up more though than the Mamba and the Defy. And it ended up going pretty much straight 290 feet over the fence. So probably could have thrown that a little bit better. All right, so yeah, this is where, is this bag better as is compared to my last round with the Mamba and the Defy covering these slots I'm using today for the Crave and the Resistor? That's the question. The 9th hole, I threw the Resistor, 221 feet with 21 feet left to the basket. And Cliff is once again trying to eat my notes as he has done before. Don't do it. All right. Also, I don't really like it when a goat burps in your face. Not a very good smell. Anyway, so in the end, on the last hole, I also got a birdie. Pretty awesome. So with that bogey, I ended up with just a 3 under par for the round, but 4 birdies is the best I've ever done on this course. That was way exciting. I was way happy with that. Cliff, are you going to jump on top of my discs? This is the cleanest place to have them, but anyway, let's continue. So 4 birdies, really happy with that. One of my best rounds ever for scoring, not for distance though. So maybe that just means my short game is improving. I don't know. It certainly leaves some to be desired still. But Leo, what are you coughing for? Anyway, after the round, I decided I wasn't that happy with how the distances went and decided I wanted to do some more throws to compare and see what I would get. Now, this day was kind of windy. It was cold. I don't know. It feels like in the past when I've tried to test distance in the cold and in the wind, I haven't done so well. So I think that my results for this round, could have something to do with that. Okay, so I got into my disc testing for distance, and I went ahead and just threw everything I had. I will note I didn't really highlight the entropy on any of these throws that I've shared in this video. The entropy has been consistent for me as a decent overstable, about 240-foot throw disc. I do like an overstable approach disc in a lot of cases because it just curves in reliably right towards where you're aiming. It's more forgiving than an understable disc like the, understable mid-range like the Detour or something like that. So anyway, you won't see the entropy here, but let's get into the testing. So first I threw the Crave, a little bit nose up, went 262 feet after hitting a tree about 285 feet away. Probably would have gone about 290 had it not hit that tree. So it bounced back a little bit. The next throw I did was with the Ohm. Now this throw just threw me off. It was 285 feet. I think that was my farthest putter throw I've ever done. So I was kind of shocked at how far this thing went. It just sailed out there. I threw it slight headwind. You'd think a glidey disc like the Ohm isn't going to do so well, but that thing just went really far. That kind of solidified my thinking around, do I need a neutral mid-range disc at all right now with how I'm throwing? I don't feel like I do. That ohm basically covers that from putt all the way out to that distance. So that was pretty amazing. Now, I don't always throw the ohm that far. It's probably more likely 250, you know, on a more typical throw. But that was really surprising. I was kind of happy to see that. So next, I threw the Crave, 278 feet. This one was quite high. For whatever reason, I just kept throwing that Crave a little bit high. So that was counting against it, and it did decent for the type of throw, 278 feet. I did throw the ohm again at about 270, still surprising me. Pretty darn cool. Pretty far. I don't know how that happened. Next, I threw the Resistor, and this was just demoing the overstability, a nice forehand throw, 242 feet. And I feel like that thing is doing pretty well what I expect it to do. I would like to be able to reach out a little farther than 242 feet though with it. Next, I threw, with the tailwind, I threw the Crave. It went 280 feet, and I feel like that was actually quite good. So that one, again, probably would have been farther had it not been with the tailwind. So I feel like my throws, none of them were even up to 300 feet, but I think there was potential under different conditions that the same throw could have gone farther. So next, I went ahead and just tested accuracy a little bit again, replaying the whole one a couple times. I threw the Resistor 233 feet, just very close to parked, 14 feet from the basket. Great accuracy, did what I wanted it to do. Next, I threw the Crave, again, forehand, 265 feet. Little past and to the left, it was 35 feet from the hole. But not bad. Then I threw the Crave one more time, and that went 254 feet with 16 feet left. So that one was a really, really nice throw for hole one. Great accuracy, went where I wanted it to. So overall, what did we end up with here? We got, with the Crave, about 290 feet forehand. I would say about the same backhand. That we did actually throw exactly 290 forehand on the 8th hole, right, with that stray shot. The backhand, about 290 equivalent. It's not my max distance. You know, I wouldn't consider that a max distance disc if that's as far as I can throw it. My old Crave was 170 grams rather than 161. So I feel like, you know, I was recommended to try lighter Crave, and it is expected that it should go farther. I think if I test this further under other conditions, I may have some luck with getting that thing to go farther. It's not a treat, Agnes. It's not a treat, okay? It's exciting, but it's not a treat. All right, so I need to test the Crave further. I think it can definitely go farther than it went in this round. Resistor, around 250, forehand. Backhand was, I didn't really highlight any backhand throws, but it was probably around 220, 230. A couple times I threw it, maybe 240. It's probably about the same as I've been throwing the Defy all the way. I think I've got the Defy to, 265 or so before. So I need to keep thinking about that overstable driver slot. I need to do some, again, better condition throws to compare that Resistor. All right, my putter, the Ohm, couldn't be happier with the distance. I mean, that's kind of surprising. Maybe that would count it out for some people. They want a putter that's not going to go past the basket. But I actually like the fact that I was able to really get that thing to move. So I'm going to keep messing with that Ohm. I think it's fun. I putt well with it. I mean, I got the 4 birdies, all putting with the Ohm. Very awesome. So I guess in conclusion, we'll continue testing this. I'm enjoying trying to narrow down the minimal bag, maybe even further. I'll keep getting creative, and I had a good time testing the Crave and the Resistor along with the Entropy and Ohm today. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. We'll keep sharing it, keep doing more experiments, and yeah, a lot to look forward to. Thanks so much for watching and taking interest and commenting and just sharing your disc golf knowledge and interest with me. I love being part of that conversation. I decided to consolidate a bunch of, well, a couple of resources into a Google Sheet. And so I've put a link in the description, and I'll stick one in the comments as well, that has a link to the Google Sheet where I have my minimal bag slots and the discs I've considered for those slots ranked in order. And I've got links to them if you're interested in just doing your own research. They're links to Infinite Discs website for the most part. Not an affiliate, not sponsored. They're just to help you out if you want to look into what I'm throwing. And then there is also a list of all the viewer recommended beginner and over 40 drivers that have been sent over comments, and that's in a different sheet or tab in the same sheet. So check it out. You can see what's been recommended out there. There's a whole bunch that I haven't tested, and I'd love to continue working through them. And you know, all with my goal of finding my ultimate set of discs that just does all the shots I want to do. The types of courses you see me play may not match what you play, and so the slots that I feel like are necessary and the discs I feel like are necessary for me may not exactly match what you feel is necessary for you. But you know what? Everybody's right. We're all right about what's best, and it's fun to see the contrast. We don't have to all have the same thing that works best for us. We're just here to enjoy, to have fun, to learn, to grow, and you know, share together and say what works and what doesn't. It's a lot of fun for me. So anyway, looking forward to the next video, and we'll continue this conversation. Thanks for watching. What do you think of your antlers you got in there, Cliff? You look pretty cool. Hey, Echo. How we doing, buddy? Hey, Agnes. How are you today? Pretty eyes. Leo and Ridge hanging out together because nobody else dares to hang out with you. Quite the snowstorm came through. It's already melted probably 2/3 of it off. You're sure pretty, Agnes. You are the prettiest girl ever. Just a beautiful goat.